This is my review of Industry Season 3, Episode 5. If this is your first time here, make sure you check out the other content, click that like button, and subscribe to the channel. We do film, music, and sports on the channel. In this review, we will touch on everything from Rob and all of his situations to Eric and Bill's relationship, Yasmin and Henry's relationship, and of course, Sweet Pea dropping a bomb about the company. But make sure you check out the recap too, where I'm going through this episode without my review, without my thoughts on it. On the reviews, I go into my actual thoughts, and that's what we're about to get into. And we are definitely starting with Rob. Rob was the most disappointing I have ever seen him in this episode. And he has been highly disappointing in a lot of the episodes. But man, Rob was so disappointing. He lets everybody walk all over him. And he recognizes it. And then he continues to let people do it. At the beginning, they talk about Lumi being overvalued and the government giving them a bailout. And then it goes straight to Rob after the Henry Yasmin scene. It goes to Rob. And Eric and everybody is trying to comfort him and let him know, hey, it's going to be okay. But in his mind, he knows I'm the fall guy. And then when Eric gets away from him, Eric says, hey, he'll recover. He's young in his career. And when he said that, I instantly just start thinking, Eric is such a bad leader. He is such a horrible leader. But Rob recognizes that. Other people are recognizing that. But Eric just hasn't got what is coming to him yet. But I think he will. But Rob has that situation happen. Then Yasmin comes up to him and says, hey, I talked to Henry. He's not going to do anything bad to you. But he does. Henry sells him out. The only thing that saves Rob in this situation is the secretary. The government took the fall for everything, so that saved Rob. And he goes off and goes with Henry, and then they go off in the woods and they do a whole bunch of stuff that was ridiculous for him to do. After going through what he was going through, to go straight from that to hanging out with Henry and having drinks with him and having drinks with the secretary, and I believe Otto was there too. So it was just a bunch of people there that made him feel like he was in the in crowd now, that he took that fall, or he was going to take the fall for everybody. But it don't just stop there. It get more disappointing with Rob. Yasmin literally comes and lays in his bed. She actually tells him about what happens with her father and the fact that she actually took out her father, which is crazy. I can't wait to see that scene. But she lays in Rob's bed after he chases after her when it was her and Henry was disrespecting her and their relationship and being very public with things that they have going on. Rob chases after her, and then she comes and lays in his bed in the morning, and he still don't make a move. He can never make a move. And she disrespected him a long time ago. He tells Henry about that situation too. He's in love with her, and he can't make a move. And it's not like he can't get girls. We seen him with Venetia. We seen him with Nicole. Even though Venetia is the girl that he should be with, that's the girl he need to be with. Someone who's soft and, not gonna abuse him, because he's there to be abused. He can't be with somebody like Nicole. He can't really be with nobody like Yasmin. Yasmin will probably abuse him to Harper. Nah, he can't deal with nobody like that. He kind of really needs to learn how to be more of a man. He is the perfect example of a lot of these 2024 men out here. The perfect example is Rob. I love how they wrote the character because it matches up perfectly with a lot of these guys out here. But enough of him. Let's go to Eric and Bill, because we get to see a lot more of their relationship. And we always knew they was close, but it really showed how close they are. Eric is a bad leader. Eric really don't care about anybody on his desk but himself. But it did show that him and Bill care about each other. Bill told him about his cancer situation. Eric tells him about his custody battle to try to get his kids. You know, they share a moment together. But what their relationship really highlights for me is the fact that when you start with somebody and you and that person work up to become bigger in the company, you two will have a relationship that you won't have with anybody else in the company. I mean, look at Yasmin and Rob and everybody that came in with them. Most of them are gone. Gus is gone. Harper is gone. Most of the people that they came in with, that was there in season 1, with Rob and Yasmin, that came in with their class, are gone. So if Rob and Yasmin stay with Pierpoint and they are there 20, 25 years, they will have a relationship with each other that nobody at the company can compete with. And that's Bill and that's Eric. They have a relationship with each other where Eric might backstab anybody at the company, but he won't do that to Bill. And Bill won't do it to Eric. And then Bill also let him know valuable information. Sweet Pea already let him know the information, but Bill confirms the information and let him know Sweet Pea was right. But if Sweet Pea can put that together, a lot of people should be able to put that together. So the company really has problems. But even though Eric was highlighted as being a bad leader again this episode, him and Bill's relationship really showed a lot. It made me think about how people actually are at companies, especially when they worked there for a long time. I used to always tell my students, because I knew they was going out to the fleet in the military, and I would tell them, always remember, everybody on this ship know each other. You are new, so act like it. Take your time, move fast, but move slow. And observe everybody, observe things, observe how people do things, how people act in certain situations, when the pressure on, how is people reacting to things. You know, just observe things and you'll be able to find your way and be more successful if you take your time and do that. Some of them will listen, and then some of them go right out. And, you know, I heard about them a year or two later, and they got a bunch of crazy stuff going on. You know, so you really got to observe people. But they relationship really showed a lot. Another relationship, Yasmin and Henry. Oh my God. Henry at the beginning of this let me know, no matter how much money he has, he's a beta male. Ain't no way you supposed to let a woman pee on you. That is just below the bottom. Like, how could you do that? First off, you're nasty. Second off, you are being like submissive to a woman sexually. Like, what are you doing? And then he brings it up in front of everybody, and one of the dudes in there say, oh, you let another girl pee on you? It's like, yo, what in the world is going on? And Yasmin is another person similar to Rob, seemed like she's been bought. And for me, I don't think it's nothing wrong with a person being in a power position and talking to girls and they wanting to talk to him because he's in a powerful position. Now, if he's literally using that and saying, hey, if you want to get to go from A to B, you got to do this. Okay, that's a problem. That is a big problem. But if they just like him and he got charisma and he's funny or whatever, and he has a powerful position, I don't see nothing wrong with that. So when I look at the situation with him and Yasmin, I don't think he used power to get Yasmin. Yasmin could have said no. She is literally making a conscious choice to be with him. Now, he is a weirdo, but she is being with him. That's just what it is, you know. Now, we also got to talk about Sweet Pea and Harper, because Harper finds out the valuable information that Sweet Pea found out, which would not have happened if it wasn't for Eric's poor leadership. When Sweet Pea pulled him to the side and got to telling him all of that valuable information and how she put things together and how the balance sheet ain't balancing, and companies won't want to work with Pierpoint when they have IPOs. She put everything together for him. And he yelled at her and told her, get back to the desk. If he would have just reacted different, she wouldn't have been in the bathroom talking to Yasmin and trying to confide in Yasmin and telling the story or telling the information for Harper to hear. So it's literally Eric's fault. When you hear some valuable information like that, you don't supposed to send a person on their way. You supposed to comfort them and tell them, hey, it's going to be okay. Don't tell anybody else about this. Me and you will figure this out. These are things he could have did to give him time to, one, confirm it with Bill like he did, but don't have her do something irrational, or don't have her want to go tell anybody else. So this was a problem on Eric, and Harper learning that information, she canceled that meeting immediately, which she should have. And this might even damage her relationship with Yasmin down the road, but we gotta see exactly how Harper reacts to this information, and do she pull back from Pierpoint all the way, because we don't know that yet. So that's something we still got to see. But I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was real good. We got to see more of Rob. We got to see how the whole Lumi situation played out, and they end up getting bailed out by the government. And, they really showed a lot about the business side in this episode, but then they also gave us a lot with each character. And then we learn what happens to Yasmin dad. So y'all let me know, what did you think about this episode and all of the different things that happened during this episode? Let me know in the comments. As always, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.